Today we are going to study the transportation in plants. Plants require number of materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, oxygen, carbon dioxide for different purpose. That is to build up the body and for growth, photosynthesis, respiration and other activities. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are available from air through stomata of leaves. So plants get oxygen and carbon dioxide from the surrounding atmosphere with the help of stomata. Then other materials are available from soil. Soil is the nearest and the richest source of materials for plants. The materials are absorbed from the soil and then they are transported to other parts, especially to leaves. In leaves, photosynthesis takes place where food is prepared. This food is then transported to, then moved to, then supplied to all other parts of the body. For this, plants require a process called transportation. That is, the movement of essential materials from one part of the body to another part is nothing but transportation. First take transportation in lower plants. Lower plants, also called non-vascular plants. 9th standard ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ non-vascular plants, vascular plants ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೂಡ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. Non-vascular plants ಅಂದರೆ plants having lack of vascular tissues, right? In case of lower plants, also called non-vascular plants, the distance between root and the leaves, the distance between root and the leaves is less, the distance is less, therefore diffusion is sufficient. Diffusion is sufficient to transport the materials. In case of higher plants, also called vascular plants, in case of higher plants we can see vascular tissues, therefore they are also called vascular plants. Vascular tissues are of two types, one xylem and another phloem. We have also studied xylem and phloem in 9th standard. Xylem transports water and minerals. Similarly, phloem transports food. So xylem is called water conducting tissue and phloem is called food conducting tissue. First take transportation of water. In plants, transportation of water takes place by two physical processes. They are one, root pressure, two, suction pressure. First take root pressure. What is root pressure? Root pressure is nothing but the osmotic pressure which is created at root due to difference in concentration of ions between root and the soil. ನೋಡಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ರೂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಈಗ ಸಾಯಿಲಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ರೂಟ್ಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ವಾಟ್ the soil and the root. Due to this difference in concentration, a pressure creates at root, that is nothing but osmotic pressure, and this is also called root pressure. So what is root pressure? An osmotic pressure creates at root due to difference in concentration of ions, that is materials, between the root and the soil. As a result, water along with soluble minerals. Water along with soluble minerals are absorbed by the root, and from the root they are transported to different parts through xylem tissue. In 9th standard, you've already studied the conducting tubes of xylem. Which are they? Xylem trachea and xylem tracheids. So, in xylem, water and minerals are transported with the help of conducting tubes called xylem trachea and xylem tracheids. But this root pressure is not sufficient to reach the higher branches, and root pressure is very important, particularly during night. Therefore, root pressure is crucial at night. ಅಂದರೆ ನೈಟ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ರೂಷಿಯಲ್ಲು. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ನೈಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, suction pressure. In plants, transpiration occurs. What is transpiration? The process of elimination of excess water from the plant body in the form of vapor through stomata of leaves. So what is transpiration? Elimination of excess water from the plant body through stomata of leaves in the form of vapor. When transpiration occurs through stomata of leaves, a pull creates. Pull ಅಂದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಎಳೆತ ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಳೆತ ಅಂತ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ದಿಸ್ pull which creates at leaves, then continue to branches and then to stem and finally reach the root. As a result, root absorbs water and minerals, and water and minerals are transported to higher branches of plants. Therefore, suction pressure is the major driving force in plants. So transpiration is responsible for the suction pressure, that is the pull. As another function of transpiration is it maintains temperature of the plant body. So transpiration has two functions. One, it creates pull, nothing but suction pressure, and it also control or maintain temperature of the plant body. But suction pressure occurs only during daytime because it requires sunlight. That is, transpiration requires sunlight. Therefore, transpiration takes place during daytime. So, suction pressure occurs during daytime, not during night. Therefore, root pressure is crucial at night. ನಾನು ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ರೂಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಟ್ ನೈಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಹೊತ್ತು ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು ಇದೆ, ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು ಇದೆ. ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಹೊತ್ತು ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರು. ಆದರೆ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರಿಂದ ಹೈಯರ್ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚಸ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರಿಂದ ಹೈಯರ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, transportation of food. Transportation of food is commonly called organic translocation. Organic means organic compound. Food is the organic compound, so called organic. Translocation, that means trans means change, location means place. So change of place, that is change of location of food from one place to another place. So translocation. In biology, translocation is defined as the shifting of substances or materials, shifting of materials from one place to another place in soluble form. So this is organic translocation, that is the organic food is shifted from one place to another place in soluble form. Food is transported from leaves to different parts of the body. Food is transported through phloem tissue. In phloem, there are cells called sieve tubes and companion cells, so which are already studied in 9th standard. In phloem, the conducting structures are sieve tubes and companion cells. So with the help of these structures, food is transported from one part, that is leaves, to other parts of the plant body. Transportation of food requires energy, but transportation of water doesn't require energy. Transportation of food requires energy in the form of ATP. During transportation, besides glucose, transportation of amino acids and other substances occur. Usually, food is transported from leaves to storage organs like roots, seeds and fruits, and also transported to growing organs. This is the transportation of food. The differences between transportation of water and transportation of food in plants. Transportation of water as well as minerals is called inorganic translocation, because both water and minerals are inorganic compounds, so called inorganic translocation. Transportation of food is organic translocation. ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫುಡ್ನ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. Transportation of water and minerals is a physical process. That means it doesn't require energy. But transportation of food requires energy in the form of ATP. Transportation of water takes place through xylem. Transportation of food takes place through phloem tissue. Then transportation of water and minerals is called the unidirectional movement. Single, directional, direction. That means both water and minerals are transported in only one direction, single direction, that is from root to different parts, that is from root to upper parts only. But transportation of food is a bidirectional movement, because here food is transported from leaves to higher branches as well as to lower parts like stem and root. So it is called bidirectional. Bi means two. It has two directions, both upper and lower. These are the differences. On to the last life processes. The last life process in this chapter, that is excretion. What is excretion? Excretion means the elimination of metabolic waste or the nitrogenous waste or the body waste. During excretion, mainly the nitrogenous waste like urea, uric acid, creatinine, etc. are eliminated out of the body. Then what is the need of excretion? In our body, many processes occur where number of products are formed. Along with those products, number of byproducts are also formed. These byproducts are also called what? Waste products. These waste products are not only useless but also harmful. If they get accumulated in our body, it causes even death. Therefore, elimination of these harmful substances, that is body waste or the metabolic waste or the nitrogenous waste, is very important. This is the need of excretion. In case of man, for this purpose, there is a very well developed organ system is present, that is called human excretory system. Human excretory system consisting of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, an urinary bladder and an urethra. In human body, the waste is mainly produced. Which is the main waste in the human body, or which is the main excretory product in the human body? The main excretory product in human body is urea. Where is it produced? It is produced in what? Liver. From liver, urea is transported mainly to kidneys through renal artery. This is the renal artery which carries urea from liver to kidneys. Similarly, both the kidneys are connected to renal vein, that is a vein called renal vein. Here, renal refers to kidneys. So, in both the kidneys, urea get accumulated in the form of urine. So, in both the kidneys, urine is formed. Then this urine is transported through what? Ureter, and get a temporary storage at urinary bladder, and finally it eliminates out in the form of urine. It eliminates out through urethra. So, in human body, all the waste, that is all nitrogenous waste, is mainly eliminated out in the form of urine. In human body, where is urine produced? Urine is produced in both the kidneys. Then, inside the kidneys, actually there are excretory units called what? Nephrons. There are millions of nephrons in each kidney. These nephrons are the excretory units, actually where urine is formed. Each nephron, this is the structure of nephron structure. Each nephron has a funnel shaped structure at one end called what? Bowman's capsule. This Bowman's capsule continues as a long tubule called what? Bowman's capsule is continued as a long coiled tubule. The whole tubule is called renal tubule. This renal tubule is divided into three parts. They are 1. Proximal convoluted tubule, 2. Endless loop, 3. Distal convoluted tubule. These are the three parts of renal tubule. Finally, renal tubule is connected to collecting duct. Then the entire nephron is surrounded by network of capillaries. Similarly, a tuft of capillaries enter Bowman's capsule also, and the tuft of capillaries enter Bowman's capsule is called ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಈ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರು ಮತ್ತು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಮು ಎರಡೂ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮು ಇದೆ, ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರು ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು ಬರೆದೀನಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿಯರ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಟು ದಟ್. ಇದು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬರೆದ್ರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್. ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ನೆಫ್ರಾನು, ಓಕೆನಾ? ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಕೆನಾಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಮು, ಓಕೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟಾದ್ದು ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟಾ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮು ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು. ನೌ ವಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ಯೂರಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಕಿಡ್ನೀಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್. ಯೂರಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಕಿಡ್ನಿಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಕಿಡ್ನಿಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನೆಫ್ರಾನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್ ಯೂರಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅಕ್ಕರ್ಸ್ at 3 stages. 1, 2, 3. First one, glomerular filtration. Second one, selective reabsorption. Third one, tubular secretion. Now take first one, glomerular filtration. What happens? Blood rushes into glomerulus. Blood, that is the blood which moves through renal artery. Renal artery ಇಂದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. renal artery enters the kidney. renal artery ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಕಿಡ್ನಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಿಡ್ನಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ renal artery ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚರ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೈನಲಿ ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಸ್. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚ್ ಆದಾಗ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚ್ ಆದಾಗ ಆರ್ಟರಿಯೋಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆರ್ಟರಿಯೋಲ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚ್ ಆದಾಗ ಕೆಪಿಲರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕೆಪಿಲರಿ ಹೆಸರೇ ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನೀವೇನಂತ ಬರೀತೀರಾ ಈಗ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಾರ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಬರೆದಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ವೆನ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ರಶಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಕಿಡ್ನೀಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಸ್. ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಾರ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೈನ್, ವೆನ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ರಶಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಕಿಡ್ನೀಸ್, ರೈಟ್, it moves through glomerulus. At glomerulus, filtration occurs. This is called glomerular filtration. Over. Go to second one, selective reabsorption. After glomerular filtration, the filtrate, ಅಂದರೆ one which is filtered, filter ಆಗಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿರೋದು ಮಕ್ಕಳ. Filtrate contains large amount of water, large amount of salts, nutrients, then the waste. All these substances then moves along the renal tubule drop by drop. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಗ್ಲಾಮರುಲಾರ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್, ಆಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ದ ರೀನಲ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್. ದಿ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ರೀನಲ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್. ರೀನಲ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಬೈ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೆನ್ ದ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ದ ರೀನಲ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್, ದ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಿಲರೀಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ large amount of water, salts, then what? All nutrients. This process is called selective reabsorption. What is this called? Selective reabsorption. Next, go to third one, tubular secretion. After selective reabsorption, now the filtrate contains only small amount of water, small amount of salts and the waste. When this filtrate reaches the terminal part of the nephron, terminal means the last part, what happens? From the surrounding cells of the tubule, number of materials like hydrogen ions, potassium ions, ammonium ions, creatinine, hormones, etc. get secreted. This is called tubular secretion. What is this? Tubular secretion. ನೋಡಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಇದು ರೀನಲ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಂದ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ಸು ಸೆಕ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರ ಹೆಸರು ಟ್ಯೂಬುಲಾರ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಫೈನಲಿ ದ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ರೀಚಸ್ ದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡಕ್ಟ್. ದ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ರೀಚಸ್ ದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಯೂರಿನ್. Urine mainly contains, that is, water. 90% water, 2.5% urea, another 2.5 uric acid and other substances, and finally urine get collected in the collecting duct. Okay, then from the collecting duct, then it enters ureter and then finally eliminates through urethra. Excretion in plants. In case of plants, the waste or the excretory products are in the form of oxygen. That is, oxygen is the waste during photosynthesis. Then carbon dioxide, it is the waste during respiration. Then excess water along with tannins, anthocyanins, etc. Sometimes we include gums and resins, but they are actually secretory products. In case of plants, how does excretion takes place? Excretion. For excretion in plants, no excretory organs. Then how do they get rid of these waste? How do they eliminate these waste? In case of plants, we can see the falling of leaves, flowers and barks. Barks andre external structure makla, togate anta. So when the leaves, flowers, bark, etc., when they fall down, what happens? Along with these, the waste get collected there, also fallen down, are also excreted. In this way, plants excrete the waste products.